Yes, yes, tarot fans, yes, I have returned the fantastic one himself, Blue Six. Um, First of all, thank everyone for all the lovely messages you guys sent, and thank you to all the people who subscribed during the time that I stopped making videos. But yes, I have returned, and those of you who follow me on Twitter and Instagram had posted, seen my post saying that I'm back. And if you didn't see it, why not follow me on Twitter and Instagram? And my Facebook page as well. It's definitely worth watching. But now I have returned. What am I going to bring to you? Why, a tarot deck review, of course. Now, I picked this up a few weeks, like a few days before I actually took my break. I was actually going to do an unboxing video of this, but I got impatient and opened it. So I'm doing a normal review instead. So the first thing I noticed when picking this up is how it has a nice independent sort of feel to it. Like, this isn't a mainstream publishing house that made this, and that does have its positives and negatives towards it. The positives is that the box has a nice kind of rustic sort of feel to it. It's kind of very thick cardboard. It does feel like it feels like something you probably get on a high-end thing from Etsy, but I guess like the slight downside is like the print quality of the image itself on the cover of the box doesn't look particularly good. But the box itself, let's just whip out the old tape measure. The box itself is just short of 9 inches and just short of 6 inches across. But yeah, the box itself, as nice as the picture is, it feels like the colour could just be a bit brighter and a bit sharper. It does kind of feel, the box cover itself does feel like it has a kind of, like you've just, like a slightly bad printout. As I said, the artwork itself is good, it's just the print quality is just a little bit off for me. That's opening the box itself, we have the book. So we've got a nice little gloss sort of cover there. Now the book itself is your, once again, more of a standard fare. Still got some of the nice artwork inside from the cards themselves, but these are all in black and white. Just to learn how to get started. Nice little easy to follow steps. And nice spreads. I might do some more videos about spreads. I know I've been saying that for a while, but I might do so soon. But yeah, so you've got your nice illustration there, and quite a space for description for each card. It's quite interesting. But we're going to head straight on and take a look at the decks itself. Just quickly zoom in. So, pros and cons. The back kind of looks okay. Nothing particularly special, but it looks nice. The cardboard stock itself feels a bit thin, and it kind of, on the back, the edges have kind of like a curve up. So it feels like when they were removing the individual card from a larger sheet, you feel the creases as if the machine itself that cut the card out. So you kind of got like you can kind of see it there, kind of raised edges, and so all of the cards are like this. So it is a thing that does kind of bug me a bit, but at the same time it's kind of what you get with this kind of more of an independent feel. Not saying it's once again, not saying it's a bad thing, it's just not a thing I'm a fan of myself. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the majors. Now, the thing about these majors is I couldn't narrow it down to 5, so I've cheated and went for 6. So first, we're going to take a look at my favourite card, of course, the Fool. And once again, this is just from the cover. I love the clothes being transparent, just reflecting the background there. The red sun there and the little doggy there. Also, nice little floating platforms. I think is pretty cool. So next we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now I kept this one in because the wheel is really cool in this, and the fact that you've got the zodiac signs, plus you have how they look in the sky. the actual star chart. So I think that was quite a cool thing to add, which you don't tend to get, because you don't tend to get many interesting Wheels of Fortune. So next we take a look at another favourite of mine, the Hanged Man. Now I picked this one because not only is he hanging from a tree, the tree itself is beautiful. It's got so many things going on here with all the animals' heads there, the fruit. So it's a real in-depth tree, but at the same time, the light coming from his head is also being part of the root system of the tree as well, which I think is an amazing addition. Then we look at the classic death, and the death I think is pretty cool in the fact that they've also got the person within death, showing her rib cage as well. The lotus, I believe, the flower behind death as well. I think it's a nice little addition. Does look pretty cool, kind of like Santa Muerta sort of look to her. And but yeah, I do think that was quite cool. Next we have the Devil card, and I kept this one in purely because that's just so there's just a lot of cool stuff going on there. So you've kind of got more of the so it's less of the goat head and more like the bull head, more like a steer rather than the goat. Black wings. Got a ball there in its hat, and it got one hand and pointing down at all these kind of cool skulls going on at the bottom there, and standing in the hands of someone else. And then obviously the flames and the man and the woman in the background. There's just a lot of stuff they've added to this, though it's kind of like a basic sort of look. So the background's very plain, but it's not very the image itself isn't particularly busy, but there's still quite a bit going on. In fact, I didn't even notice the hands until I started doing this recording. So and last we look at Judgment. Now, I thought this one was quite interesting compared to how Judgment is usually shown. Yes, you've got an angel in the sky, but you've got people reaching up and birds flying to the angel, which is very different to how it usually goes, because it's usually just the bodies ascending, or at least being woken from the grave. The bird additions, I think, are pretty good. Could be the idea that the spirits of the people are now the birds, but it's an interesting take on that one. So next we take a look at the aces. So first we have the Ace of Wands, which is a really cool phoenix, and you obviously got the element of fire there, and in the fact it's in like a little halo with a nice kind of background around it as well. It's a nice addition. Nice shades of reds and oranges as well. I like the fact that the wand is being held very delicately. It's not being grasped. It's just being kind of delicately held. I think it's pretty good there. Then we have the Ace of Cups. So this one is cups. Once again, you've got lots of chalices around the sides. Really nice detail with the cup itself. Once again, it's a soft grasp. It's a soft hold. It's not being gripped dramatically. Also, I like the fact that you've got a rune there as well, the name of which I can't actually remember right now, but if I'm smart enough, I'll probably put it here, the name of it. We also got the element of water here, as you had fire on here, and a nice little sunset as well. So next we have this Ace of Swords, a nice dark blue there, some crown. I like the fact there's crowns in this, in the background rather than in the main, but I think it's pretty good. Obviously you've got the oak leaves there as well as part of the background. The design of the sword is quite nice, very minimalist. I do like the little pattern here and the kind of I'm not very good with swords, but I do like this little blue part here, and even the background of this is still quite plain and just has nice floaty clouds, nice little happy clouds. And last we've got the Ace of Discs. So you still have you've got the eye in the middle of the pentagram there. Lots of nice flowers around, probably a little darker red than I probably would expect. Because you'd probably expect to see a bit more green, with with discs, but they seem to be edging more for the yellow in this one. But I do like the sunflowers and the poppies. So next we take a look at the 4 minors that I think kind of stood out for me in this. So most of these are 5. So we have the 5 of wands first off. Now I thought this was really fascinating, the fact they've just got a gorgon, and so they're kind of playing a lot with this. So you don't just have like the image of like a caduceus in the middle, but also another snake wrapped around the middle of that one. It looks like quite a mess. There's a lot going on. You can imagine this gorgon just kind of really wishing their hair would just calm down and just get on with it. But yeah, there's a lot. These snakes don't feel like they're necessarily getting on, but there's a lot of. It feels like there's a lot of chaos kind of going on there. And we've all had mornings where our hair's a bit chaotic. So next we have the 5 of cups. Now I chose the 5 of cups because it's just such a fascinating image. Now throughout the deck, some of the minors, the people involved are just black with white outlines. So I get this one because not only have they got the typical 3 cups fallen over, but there's the kind of modern look with this, with all the crying eyes in the background, and the person here with the one eye in the middle of the face. It's really cool and surreal, and I do quite like that. Something you'd have like in a budget horror film, or a mid-tier horror video game. Next we have the 5 of swords. Warning for those of you who are squeamish, I guess. This also kind of has like a kind of nightmare sort of feel to it, but also the idea that it's kind of like a competition. It has like a competitive element to it, and the fact they're all trying to get to this one piece and only one person has actually succeeded in it. It feels kind of competitive chaos, I guess. But there is a winner in the end. Still kind of nightmare, still slightly nightmarish though. But last we have something a little cheerier with the 9 of discs. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of pink. I like pink, but it's not one of my favourite colours. It's not one of my favourite colours, but the pink in this feels really nice and vibrant. There's a kind of Art Nouveau style background with how the flowers with how the flower petals are and the position of the woman in the middle, and it has a less arrogant sort of feel to it, as my friends in our groups like to call the 9 of cups the smug git card. There does seem to be kind of a lot more elegance with this. It does feel nice and comfortable. Obviously I'm aware these aren't cups, but I'm comparing it to the 9 of cups, but still this still feels it has a lot more elegance compared to the Rider-Waite, and you've even got a kind of winged insect there. Not quite sure what that is. Can't quite tell, but it looks like a winged insect. So last we take a look at the court cards. So we start with the Princess of Cups. Now, so the rest of these will kind of have like a nice little kind of window bay area here, nice kind of relatively empty background with the element of their suit on the edges, with the flowers in the corners. So I like the dress in this. So the princess doesn't necessarily have a aquatic look to her, and it's still the idea of there's still a lot of quizzicalness going on there as well. So that they're still out there trying to there is that want to learn there. Unfortunately, there's not really much else to say. There's not a lot happening. But next, this is probably my favourite court card from this, the Prince of Swords. Now, usually, the Prince or the Knight tends to be very aggressive looking, but this one has a nice. It's more assertive than aggressive, and it still has that feeling that they're still going to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, but more with as I said, with less aggression, more enthusiasm. So, and also just love Angel. I also just love the Angel wings for it as well, because the element of air. But I think the wings and the posture has that feeling more of enthusiasm rather than just harshness that you tend to get with some of the other knights. And then we have the Queen of Wands, with a kind of nice Shiva thing going on there. I also like the idea that these flowers at the bottom look like they have candles in them as well, little candles. And the fire along the side looks really good. The dress looks lovely, and I do like the design of the crown there, and the fact she's got flowers in some hand, wands in the other. So each hand is being kept busy. And last we have the King of Discs. Now, a lot of the discs in the court, a lot of the other courts don't really have a good sort of disc to them, but I do like the crops growing along the side. I said it's still got the darker shade of red, which you don't tend to get with a lot of the coins, but it's still quite nice. I love the kind of forest style, his like forest style crown as well. So that looks quite nice. So it's not, so it still has that businessman sort of look, but more in tune with nature rather than just using nature for his will. So I do think that's pretty cool. Right, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I said I did take a bit of time off, so if I'm still a little rusty, I do apologise, but I hope you did enjoy. Once again, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.